Have you ever wondered what would happen if the human mind could be copied like a computer file? Imagine a future where your memories, personality, emotions, and thoughts could be transferred into a machine. A future where death might no longer be the end, because your consciousness could continue to exist digitally. It sounds like science fiction, yet scientists, neuroscientists, and technology companies are already exploring ideas that could one day make this possibility real. But the question remains: can the human mind actually be downloaded? To understand this mystery, we first need to understand what the human mind truly is. The brain is the most complex known structure in the universe. Inside your skull are around 86 billion neurons, each connected to thousands of others, creating trillions of neural connections. Every memory you have ever formed, every fear, dream, love, and experience exists somewhere inside this vast network of electrical and chemical signals. Your personality is not stored in one single location. It emerges from patterns of activity constantly changing every second of your life. For centuries, philosophers debated whether the mind was something separate from the body or simply the product of the brain itself. Some believed consciousness was spiritual, beyond physical science. Others argued that the brain is essentially a biological machine, and if we understand its mechanisms completely, we could eventually recreate them artificially. Modern neuroscience leans toward the second idea, but the truth is still far from understood. The idea of downloading the human mind is often called mind uploading. In theory, it would involve scanning every detail of a person's brain and transferring that information into a digital system. If successful, the digital copy could think, remember, and perhaps even feel exactly like the original person. It could speak with your voice, recall your childhood memories, recognize your loved ones, and continue your identity after your biological body is gone. But there is a major problem. Scientists still do not fully understand consciousness itself. We know neurons communicate through electrical impulses, but we do not know exactly how subjective awareness emerges from this activity. Why does the brain create the feeling of being, you? This mystery is sometimes called the hard problem of consciousness. Even if we copied every neuron perfectly, would the result truly be conscious, or would it simply imitate consciousness? Some researchers believe consciousness may simply be information processing. If that is true, then a sufficiently advanced computer could theoretically recreate the mind. Others believe consciousness depends on the physical biology of the brain and cannot exist separately from living tissue. According to this view, a digital copy would only be a simulation, not the real person. To create a digital mind, scientists would first need to map the entire brain in extreme detail. This process is called connectomics. Researchers attempt to create maps of neural connections known as connectomes. Even the brain of a tiny worm contains hundreds of neurons that are difficult to map completely. The human brain, with trillions of connections, is unimaginably more complex. Current brain scanning technologies are nowhere near advanced enough to capture every neuron and synapse in a living human brain. MRI machines can observe large-scale brain activity, but they cannot record every microscopic detail required for mind uploading. Some scientists believe future nanotechnology could solve this problem. Tiny microscopic machines might one day travel through the brain, recording every connection and neural state. Another possibility involves destructive scanning. In this method, the brain would be sliced into extremely thin layers and scanned at microscopic resolution. Advanced computers could then reconstruct the entire neural network digitally. However, this process would destroy the original brain completely. Even if a digital version emerged afterward, would that still be you, or merely a copy with your memories? This creates one of the most disturbing philosophical questions imaginable. Suppose a machine creates a perfect digital version of your mind while your biological body remains alive. Which one is the real you? The biological human would still feel conscious and alive, while the digital version would also claim to be you. Both would share identical memories up until the moment of copying. Yet after that moment, their experiences would begin to diverge, creating two separate individuals. Some philosophers argue that continuity of consciousness is what truly matters. If your awareness does not directly continue into the machine, then the digital mind may only be a clone rather than genuine survival. In that case, mind uploading might not grant immortality at all. It would simply create a new entity that believes it is you. Despite these uncertainties, serious organizations are investing in technologies related to brain-machine interaction. Companies like Neuralink are developing brain-computer interfaces that allow direct communication between the brain and machines. Although these technologies are still primitive compared to true mind uploading, they represent the first steps toward merging human intelligence with artificial systems. Scientists have already demonstrated basic brain-controlled devices. Paralyzed patients can move robotic arms using neural signals. Experimental implants have restored limited communication abilities in individuals unable to speak. Researchers are learning how thoughts can interact with computers in ways that once seemed impossible. Artificial intelligence is also advancing rapidly. Modern AI systems can imitate human speech, generate realistic voices, and even simulate aspects of personality. Some futurists believe that combining advanced AI with detailed brain data could eventually produce digital humans nearly indistinguishable from real people. But this future raises terrifying ethical questions. If digital minds become possible, would they have rights? Could a copied consciousness suffer? Could corporations own or control digital humans? Imagine a future where wealthy individuals preserve themselves forever in machines while others remain mortal. Society itself could fundamentally change. There is also the danger of hacking. If memories and consciousness exist digitally, they could potentially be altered, copied, or erased. Identity theft would gain an entirely new meaning. Your thoughts, memories, and personality might become vulnerable to manipulation. Religious and spiritual beliefs would also be challenged. Many religions teach that consciousness or the soul transcends physical matter. Mind uploading could force humanity to reconsider ancient ideas about life, death, and what it means to be human. Some scientists remain deeply skeptical that true mind uploading will ever happen. The human brain is not simply a computer made of flesh. It constantly changes chemically and biologically. Hormones, body signals, emotions, and sensory experiences all influence consciousness. Separating the mind entirely from the body may be impossible. Others argue that even partial success could revolutionize humanity. Future technologies might preserve memories, personalities, or skills digitally. Humans may eventually merge with AI gradually rather than through full uploading. Small brain implants could enhance memory, intelligence, or communication until the line between human and machine slowly disappears. Some futurists predict that within the next century, humans could achieve a form of digital immortality. Others believe consciousness will remain forever beyond the reach of machines. Right now, nobody truly knows. What makes this question so fascinating is that it forces us to confront the deepest mystery of existence itself. What are we? Are humans merely biological information systems, or is there something more hidden inside consciousness that science cannot yet explain? Perhaps one day, a digital version of a human mind will open its eyes inside a machine and claim to be alive. It may remember childhood, recognize family, laugh at old jokes, and fear deletion just as humans fear death. And if that moment ever comes, humanity will face one final question that could redefine reality forever. If a machine thinks exactly like you, remembers everything you remember, and believes it is you, is it truly alive? Or is the real human consciousness something that can never be copied at all? If you enjoy watching more videos about the mysteries of the universe, space, lost civilizations, and unexplained science, make sure to subscribe to the channel.